Hi there, Dee here once again for more Ultra HD panel opinions and discussion. You know, one day 8K TVs will be the standard, every home will have one. So today we're going to look at 8K TV resolution, the quality, the cost, the technology involved, gaming, and also the benefits and drawbacks of 8K. But do you really need one now, or should you wait? Let's find out. So what are we actually talking about? 8K is the next big thing in TV resolution, and it's no longer something that's coming next year. It's right here and right now. Double that of 4K, 8K comes with a whopping resolution of 7680 by 4320, giving 4 times the amount of pixels. This results in a much sharper image. Large screens are also becoming more popular, with TVs over 55 inches not uncommon. In fact, some 8K TVs only come in size 65 inches and above. If you're going to have a panel of 65 inches or bigger, then pixel density starts to become more important. An 85-inch 8K TV has 104 pixels per inch, twice that of a 4K TV. And if you're wondering what the K stands for, it's short for kilo or 1000. That is, a TV with a horizontal resolution of over 1000. So how does this translate into the real world? We've probably all had a 1080p HD TV. This has 1920 by 1080 pixels, giving you over 2 million pixels total. Although this is correctly called 2K, it's more commonly referred to as 1080p. With 4K Ultra HD, you have 3840 by 2160, giving you over 8 million pixels and a much sharper image. With 8K, you have 7680 by 4320, giving you over 33 million pixels, and again a much sharper image over 1080p and 4K. But what does this all mean? With 4 times as many pixels between each jump in TV technology, pixel density increases and therefore the image appears sharper, in theory. Moving closer to a 65-inch 8K TV, for example, means you will see less individual pixels than a 65-inch 4K TV at the same distance. However, nobody really sits on top of their TV to watch it. You'll most likely sit several feet away in your room, and therefore the difference becomes less apparent and less important. Now let's talk about upscaling. In order to watch 1080p or 4K content on an 8K TV, the TV has to upscale the image to show an image that originally had less pixels on a panel that has many more pixels. The results can vary, but there won't be any more detail present in the upscaled image. 4K on a native 4K TV will always look better than 4K upscaled to 8K. So why not gobble up this higher resolution deliciousness? All those extra pixels make it a no-brainer, surely. We should all rush out and buy an 8K TV right now. Not so fast. We've looked at the numerous benefits of 8K, it's clearly the next big step. So let's look at the reasons why now might not be the time to dip your toe into the rich sea of 8K pixel density. They are expensive. A flagship 8K TV will be much more expensive than a flagship 4K TV. Personally, I'd rather spend my money on the top of the range 4K TV at the moment and enjoy all the native 4K content available. Talking of content, there is very little 8K content out there. You won't find any from your cable TV provider. Netflix, Amazon Prime and other streaming services just aren't showing 8K content. It's not even on the horizon. You might find 8K content on YouTube, but it will be so heavily compressed, would you even notice the difference? It's also made up of sample videos and demo videos mainly. Movie makers just aren't making content at that higher resolution because the storage, editing and special effects costs are enormous. Some of your favourite and recent Marvel films, for example, were shot at a resolution of 4 or 6K but finished and presented in 2K. It still looks great and 2K is widely compatible and so much cheaper to produce. When you're talking about making movies, cost really matters in the filmmaking industry. That movie was good, but it would be so much better in 8K. Nobody ever said. Also, there are no discs in 8K and unlikely to ever be, as the content will be streamed in the future. It's clearly the way things are moving. Technology always advances, and the flagship 8K TV this year is soon enough last year's model. Early adopters may find that when 8K does become more mainstream, their TVs are years old and lacking the latest technological advances. Okay, I exaggerate a little, but you get the idea. Granted, 8K gaming may appeal to you, but is it a reality anytime soon? Will there be many true 8K games, or more likely 4K games upscale to 8K. I'm sure game makers would much prefer a game in 4K at 60 frames per second than to slow the frame rate down for the massive resources 8K would require. Also, trying to stream an 8K movie will require huge bandwidth. You'll probably need a minimum of 50 megabits per second for the stream. That doesn't include all the other devices around your home connected at the same time. I think HDR actually has a much bigger impact on movies and gaming than the jump from 4K to 8K. HDR will expand the contrast ratio and colour palette. You'll also get brighter highlights and a punchier picture all round. The image will also appear more realistic and natural, and HDR is widely supported for movies and games. Of course, some phones will shoot 8K, such as the Samsung S20 or S21, but each minute of video will swallow around 600 megabytes of storage space. Try sharing your 8K movies and most people can't see them at that resolution. Upload them to YouTube and YouTube will heavily compress them beyond recognition. So to summarise, the leap from 1080p to 4K was massive and noticeable. However, the leap from 4K to 8K, although just as big, is less noticeable. 8K is way over the top and unnecessary at the moment. It may be most useful for very large screens, 75 inches and over, where sharpness and pixel density is very important. Think of a large screen at a trade or gaming convention, or a venue that shows live sport, for example. So there you have it. I hope that gives you some food for thought. You'll find some links in the description to some other interesting videos, my TV and some of the other gear I use. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support this small channel and encourage future content, please consider a thumbs up and subscribing. It's a great help to me if you do. Please stay safe and I hope to catch you soon.